I've been downgraded from Ashy Nux. Damn.
Like Little Red Riding Hood.
Well, as long as your shit is, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, I'm scared of you.
You got your lotion going.
No, I almost don't want to do it so I can get that name back. It's kind of growing on me. Shit.
Setting up this YouTube.
Yes, indeed.
All right. You checking the YouTube?
Yes, sir. Let me just mute the YouTube thing as to not get the feedback.
Right. You checking?
Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yow, yow, yow. What's around there? Peace, family. That's right. Fuck loving hip hop. What's around there? We here.
Oh, wait, damn, I got to turn the AC off. Shit.
Peace, family. Why do I hear somebody?
I got to turn the AC off. Shit.
Why do I hear your YouTube?
1, 2. Mic check. I'm good.
Rage, you muted your YouTube, right?
Yes, sir.
Peace, y'all. I know y'all been waiting for us. Thank you. Just to let you know, since we all gonna be together, I'm gonna start showing up a lot more, at least once a day. How about that?
Yeah, Jay, right off the bat on some petty shit. I like to shout out Pacific. He's expressing something I was going to try to make into a movement. He wants to know, why isn't Rage on the Godcast cover? Like,
why isn't Rage on the Godcast cover?
Yeah, like, you know, like part of the beautiful anime that you did.
You know, you're not that big yet.
See?
You big, but, you know, you still, you know.
Right.
You're like a sub storyline. You see?
Yo, Pacific, I gotta get a little bigger, but hey, it was on my mind. All y'all who want to support that, hashtag Tune Rage. Hashtag Tune Rage. Thank you.
Well, we can't put you in there without putting Foxy Alex in there. Come on,
here
now.
we go.
Right.
Here we go.
And then we gotta put in Schizo and all these other, like, come on, bro. That ain't going. You got it. You part of the. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then we got Schizo, so we should just have a whole little Brady Bunch box.
With that nigga, what's that nigga's name? Ed McMahon? Would that nigga be in the artwork? Yeah. Would Ed McMahon be in the artwork?
Yeah, actually, when you look at the legacy of
he wouldn't be in the artwork. It was just Johnny.
In the background on the couch. So put me in the background on the couch. How about that?
Listen, motherfuckers know who Rage is in this motherfucking show. Okay, don't act like niggas ain't stopping you in the street talking about fact checker Rage from the Godcast. Okay? What up, Troy? I see you.
What it look like?
I see you on quarantine out here.
How y'all making out in these trying times?
Oh man, you know. We just doing what we gotta do, man.
Yeah, man, it's a hard business.
Like,
man.
Can I just say that? Oh wait, are we on? Or are we like?
we are live right now.
Okay.
Welcome back to Yanadameen Godcast. I'm Lord Jamar.
And I'm Digga.
And I'm on the couch, fact checker Rage.
Okay.
Oh shit, we all on the couch today. I'm in my whole pajamas right now. Not even pajamas, no makeup. We just letting it all hang out.
Looking like
We don't
Oprah.
believe you.
Looking like Oprah in a teddy.
Oprah with the glasses, right?
Looking like Oprah with a teddy on. What you doing, girl?
I don't know about that. Nah, I do be getting I resemble Oprah sometimes, but especially when I put my glasses on, it's over.
So listen, we back. You know, we you know, the world went to shit, and we just kind of sat back and watched things unfold for a second. You know, shit had everybody in a little funk. You know,
Had you saying like past tense, like it's over.
well, you know, I mean,
still funky.
Me
Shout out
personally,
to Caesar. Thanks for that donation.
Oh, we appreciate it. Listen, me personally, you know, I was just feeling kind of like, you know, I didn't feel like shaving my head or you know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel like getting on here and talking and none of that. Like, it was just kind of like, yeah, just doing the knowledge and just, I don't know, tapping into all of this negative energy that was around, like, you know what I mean? Like, and that is still around, but on the onset, it was just, the shit was crazy. You know what I mean?
Can I just make a revelation real quick?
Go ahead.
Everybody is doing their podcasts and working and streaming from home. Let's just say we were there first. Can we say we pioneered this home podding?
You know, and I thought about it because when I talk about everybody, I mean everybody. Jimmy Kimmel and them niggas is doing shit like this, where we might have more experience doing it at the crib, and our shit is probably looking better right now in certain respects because we used to already rocking like this from the crib and all that. So yes, we actually was the first one to do this before the Rona even hit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shout out to the Godcast for, you know, being on our cutting edge shit.
And let's give him the math. Let's give him the math real quick. Today's the 23rd.
Okay, today is the 23rd. Making today's math.
Wisdom, understanding, all being born to power refinement.
That's right. Wisdom is your wise words or your ways and actions, how you move. Understanding is that best part, for it is the crystal clear picture drawn up in the mind from knowledge and wisdom, causing one to understand. And power is that truth manifested through your words that shines light into the universe, okay? And illuminates darkness. Refinement is to be cleansed mentally as well as physically. You know, make sure you're refining yourself mentally as well as physically in these times that we are in today. Peace to the gods and earth. Now, speaking of refinement real quick, motherfuckers is acting like wiping their ass. They acting like the cure is in the toilet paper right now. What the fuck is going on?
I don't know what that's about, but
why did everybody just choose toilet paper as the thing to hoard?
I actually just joked with Vlad not too long ago because I was like, when I did the interview with him, I was telling him like, yeah, I did some penny stocks back in the day. I was like, yeah, I was trying to think of I was trying to think of stuff that would never go out of style, and I did some penny stocks with toothpaste and toilet paper. And baby,
okay, now you blowing the fuck up.
I got some unclaimed assets over here.
Well, listen. So we here, they talking this coronavirus shit. You know, those of us in the conscious community, immediately flags were going up when we started hearing about this, and especially how the reaction that subsequently came from this. You know, let's go over what we know or what they're telling us right now. Because again, I just wanna let the record reflect that everything that's going on right now is based upon the word of people that we look at as the experts. We've talked about on this show previously, you know, on other situations, how science is the new religion, okay? And how the scientists are some of the biggest liars out here. Yet, this is all we have to go on right now. So I'm not saying coronavirus is something fake, but I think the way that it's being responded to right now is definitely some New World Order bullshit, some controlling the population bullshit, and we need to build on it, and let's get into this.
And let's just say here at the Yanadameen Godcast, where all conspiracy theories are welcome, this is a safe space for any and all conspiracy theories.
It's not about conspiracy theories because, you know,
that's a term I'm using. That's a term I'm using in gist. But at the end of the day, they're theories because they technically can't be proven. Doesn't mean they're wrong, but
right. And certain things need to be brought up and let people make their own, you know, decision based on different information that's given, instead of just what's being plugged by the media, which is fear.
As far as media, I will say this: I recommend that you tune in to BBC News and outlets of that capacity, because they are definitely giving you the information more blunt and in real time. I feel like the American news outlets are kind of following the puppet strings of Donald Trump, who is seemingly the worst president in United States history right now. So I would, anytime you have a president, you know, keep logging on or you know, keep making these speeches, these state of addresses, and then the Anthony Fauci,
the Chinese virus every time too, like they told him to stop.
You've got the leader of the World Health Organization coming on right behind Trump, like I can't vouch for that. I can't vouch for that. So we should definitely not be, you know, looking to.
But I can't vouch for him either, Mr.
For
Fauci.
reassurance.
Like I can't vouch for Mr. Fauci either.
You know what? I like to shout out H-Town Black King. He said, "Thank you for this frequency of quote think tanking." Like, you know, in regards to like the conspiracy theories or whatever, I always tell people in these instances, it's good for an academic exercise to get into think tanks. Just think crazy. It don't mean you got to jump down on a wormhole or say this is gospel, but it's intelligent to just think crazy. What if? You know, that's what think tanks are for, and this can be done in a healthy form.
I think the word conspiracy theory just has such a negative connotation on it. It's like just now, it's like you just almost like got on a defensive when I said it, but it isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just a theory that can't be proven. It doesn't mean that it's wrong or it's off base, because oftentimes where there's smoke, there's fire. Like if
right, but here's the thing.
It can happen.
In our society, they use certain words as code words to try to defuse certain things. Mm-hmm. So when you put something into the under the umbrella of a conspiracy theory, part of the code word is that's some bullshit, that's some nut ass shit, that's some shit that really you shouldn't take seriously because, it's coming from people that, are just outside of the box in all regards. You see what I'm saying? They're coming from untrustworthy people, So now you're hearing, even when you hear people talk about this coronavirus and the fact that, first of all, there's patents on this motherfucker. The fact that it could have been introduced to the people, you got people now, the next thing that they're talking is tinfoil hat conspiracies. That's another word they're using, tinfoil hat. That's becoming popular right now, even though that's an old thing, but people are bringing that back. So anybody that tries to address these issues and speak on it, anything other than the party line, they put you in the tinfoil hat, and then the tinfoil hat means that basically you're fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like you're talking some crazy shit. And again, it's used to neutralize any dissent. It's used to neutralize any critical thinking on a matter, on any matter, really.
Yeah, much like anti-Semitism, homophobe, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, once these words are enacted, it means, toe the line, be quiet. No critical thought, no balanced reporting on the matter.
Right.
So let's going the line.
And we don't do that here. We know goddamn well that, this is right up our fucking alley. Like.
That's what I said. This is the safe space for it. Let's go.
Like exactly. So let's get into it.
Let's get them.
Well, first of all, people in the conscious community for a long time have been.
Shout out James Smith. Thanks for that $10, bro.
We've been talking about New World Order for a long time. There's been books, New World Order, Behold the Pale Horse, all these type of books that came out in the 90s and stuff like that, 80s and 90s, that predicted certain things were going to happen in the future and certain things were going to be unfolded. We've seen many things that were in these books come to pass. This right here is beginning to look like the parts in the book where they talk about they're going to enact martial law, where they're going to lock the people down. We never knew exactly what the guise would be, how they would enact it, but this is a perfect genius way to do it. They've almost enacted martial law without saying it's martial law. Like, nobody can really go anywhere right now. They're creating antisocial behavior through literally something called social distancing.
Okay. Sexy words, right.
Which now makes everybody the enemy. Now everybody's the enemy, including the people in your own home. Do they got it? You got the Rona? You know what I mean? Don't let a motherfucker start coughing around you.
That's a fight.
You see what I'm saying? That could be a murder for all we know. Like somebody could be that serious. Like, yo, this nigga coughed around me. I fucking shot him.
There's a couple of planes that have been grounded because the passengers became unruly because one of the passengers coughed or sneezed. It's happened twice.
Don't let them be Asian. Oh, please don't let them be Asian. they might fucking. Oh man, I don't want to say it, man. But listen.
Can I touch on that? Like
Go ahead.
personally, again, when all this stuff started happening and all the information started coming out, I was like, challenging everything, hearing what people say. What pushed me over the edge was when a close friend of mine called me, was like, see, it's the Chinese, man, they over there eating bats and stuff. I'm like, okay, that sounds familiar, because usually when you want to create an enemy or create the other, you got to point out something that culturally might be foreign to what you do, but understand there's some cultures that look at us like, y'all eat cows?
Right.
I'm not saying I fuck with bats. What I'm saying is I'm not a scientist. I don't understand those type of sciences. I don't know how the disease jumped because of a quote unquote wet market in China to what we see now as a human pandemic. I'm not prepared.
Well, let me before I forget, let me just answer you right there. Now, this is some information that I got from like BBC Australia, and like I said, I really encourage you guys to like watch the BBCs of the other countries. Like, just kind of go away from channel 247 and all that, and really get into some of these reports that are going on internationally. So there was a 60 Minutes Australia, and they explained how what happens in the wet markets are there are all these exotic animals that come from all over the world. And this is a big part of the Asian mafia racket. Like, how we have our guns and our drugs with the mafias and stuff. The Asian mafia market, they're a big part of their hustle are these exotic animals. And what's happening is now they all kind of get thrown in a cage together, or they get all lumped together in one space. So you have the Australian cockatoo in a cage with like this exotic African monkey in a cage with something that came from Indonesia. And whether they're crossbreeding or just they're cross mixing their germs, like they're exposing each other to viruses that they are not normally subjected to. Like, in no other part of the world would these two animals or these two entities cross paths. But what's happening is in these wet markets, they're crossing paths, and they're transferring diseases and viruses to each other. And then you have people handling them, selling them. This foreign dignitary wants his exotic animal. You got the Michael Jacksons of the world that want pet gorilla. I mean, I'm just, I don't want to put
Right.
him in
And for how many thousands of years has this been going on, Digga? And we've been okay. Everything has been okay. This has been going on for a long time, Digga.
I mean, have we been okay? Have we been okay?
Yeah, we have been okay. Because we need to get into some of the viruses that have been much worse than this, including regular flu.
We haven't been okay, and those viruses haven't gone anywhere.
What I'm saying is, we've lived without so-called pandemics where we had to shut down the world. I
agree with that. I'm disagreeing with we've always been okay. Like, no, motherfuckers been dying from malaria and all.
Oh yeah. But generally, as a world population, and again, right now we're doing something that America's been doing a lot, is going out of their way for a small segment of the population. Like of this.
Maybe we haven't been okay, and it's just been getting covered up. Like they tell us 600,000 people to 1 million people die every year from the flu. Like, maybe it wasn't the flu.
Listen, people die from all kind of shit, and it's way worse than this. And again, the world has never been shut down before.
I'm just saying, Jay, using the prevailing wisdom of the wet markets, I still need to identify the green monkey that made AIDS in Africa. I haven't seen a green monkey.
Oh, we know what that's about, though. Come on.
Yeah, but I'm saying, the
disease that targets gay people and black people. Come on, we don't know.
But what I'm saying is that same propaganda helped them out. Like, oh, something's always coming from the other, and that was quite good because historically, most diseases actually came from Europe.
Right. Well, they try to Ebola and all that's supposed to be from Africa. Zika, AIDS, those was like African diseases.
When you look at the time of Da Vinci and all these romantic
Oh
eras,
yeah, rheumatic
hygiene
fever,
Europe,
Black Plague. Yeah, that was the European.
Terrible, you know, and they transferred it over here to the indigenous people and wiped them out. So I'm just saying, man, there's like, why is it always the other that's producing diseases? And you know, we don't. I don't know. Listen, it's food for thought. But I still want to see this green monkey that the AIDS came from. You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen, that's a whole nother story right there. Let's focus on this shit right here. So wherever it comes from, we're not sure. There's reports that this is something that is man-made. There's some people that saying it's coming from 5G technology that was enacted in Wuhan. We don't really know what the source is, and that's where the theories come in. That's where the conspiracy theories come in, because we don't necessarily know where it comes from,
right.
Really how bad it is.
Right.
Can you go on the website Fact Checker Rage, the World Health Organization? I want to know how many people have been diagnosed with it right now.
144,000.
Okay, how many people have died?
Worldwide, 4-something thousand, close to 4 or 5,000.
How many people have recovered?
I just heard that today. Over 100,000 have recovered.
What are we doing here? 150-something thousand got it. Over 100,000 recovered. Only not even 5,000 have died.
Hey, you coughing over there?
It ain't the Rona-virus. It's the cannabis virus. Okay.
Don't be coughing on my phone.
It's the cannabis virus. That's where my cough comes from. If we do got any Rona, this the cure right here.
Let me spew some of my conspiracy theory analyses. I believe that this is going to scare people into getting vaccinated, which was not too long ago. Which was not too long ago a really big deal about the people that weren't getting vaccinated. Now we've got this incurable pandemic happening, and as soon as whatever big pharma company comes up with the vaccine, they're gonna run for the hills.
Right, and it's gonna be a mandatory vaccine. You see, all these schools have been closed. Now, let's just say we're not letting nobody back into school unless all y'all motherfuckers get this vaccine. Y'all can't go back to school.
Pretty much.
Now what you gonna do? You know what I mean? What you gonna do? Like
pretty much.
Talking about people, look up RFID 2020, okay, where they're talking about using these vaccines to inject an RFID chip, a radio frequency ID inside your body, some real Mark of the Beast revelations type of shit. And they're gonna have you basically begging for it. Please give me this vaccine. I don't want to get Rona. Please give me the vaccine. I don't give a fuck what's in it. Just give it to me.
Right.
Okay?
And that's, and I'm not a person into vaccines myself. So that is one of the theories that have been Actually, I thought it before I even saw that it was a conspiracy theory talking point, but it definitely crossed my mind like, oh, this is interesting. Big Pharma just not too long ago declaring bankruptcy from all the opioid lawsuits, and now the whole entire world is about to be relying on them to survive this this pandemic. I
Yo,
didn't.
what's with all these CEOs stepping down?
Oh, because they got the information in advance that something was coming and that the stock market was going to drop drastically.
Bad CEOs, including Bill Gates, stepped down just prior to this.
Bill Gates, the CEO
like they knew something.
The CEO of Disney, the CEO of LinkedIn, the CEO. It's a whole list of them. Just in the year of in the couple of months of 2020 alone, like at least 20 of like the biggest corporations in the world are stepping down. Have stepped down.
And now they would have us believe that that's coincidence. You see
No,
what I'm saying? Like
definitely not coincidence. No, Richard Burr, the Republican senator who was actually
Garcia, excuse me.
That's how it actually came out, because I guess there was some audio of him talking about, how serious this was while Trump and everybody was getting on TV telling us, oh, just wash your hands. The millionaire CEO folks, the billionaire CEO folks was cashing in their chips. And Martha Stewart went to jail for saying said inside trading. So I would love to see the ramifications that this senator.
I wonder how many of these motherfuckers invested in Purell and fucking surgical masks and rubber gloves and shit like that prior to this. Sunk their money in shit that they knew, toilet paper and shit. That's why they want this toilet paper.
I got penny stocks in toilet paper.
Woo! Yeah. Yo, that's my word. Like, I today had to go out and look for toilet paper. And I'm going to tell you, I ended up being successful, but it wasn't easy. And
you
it's
gotta go to the
where
hood.
I'm not even going to tell where my spot is at. Huh?
You got to go to the hood. You can't do that Walmart, BJ, Costco. You can't do none of that nonsense. You got to go to the poppy
smaller,
store.
yes.
You got to go to Supremo, C-Town supermarket where everything is plentiful. Can't do the chain stores.
Can't do the chain stores because motherfuckers went there and acting like it's Mad Max. Like, literally, they act like the cure is wiping your ass. Like, if you wipe your ass, you will not get corona. So everybody went and got fucking toilet paper and shit. And they think they got the cure stored up in the motherfucking, in a basement some fucking way.
Yo, total sidebar. So the guy that got shut down for having 17,000 bottles of hand sanitizer, Amazon shut him down because I guess he was reselling it, and he ended up getting stuck with like 17,000 bottles of sanitizer that he's since been donating. But prior to him getting shut down for the price gouging, he said that he made a profit of $40,000.
Wow.
He made $40,000 in a matter of 2 to 3 weeks, selling $3 bottles of hand sanitizer from anywhere from $7 to $70. He made $40,000 in profits in like 2 weeks, and then Amazon shut him down.
So for me, what's frightening about this is not really the virus. It's the reaction.
It's the people.
It's the people, and it's what the government is implementing, and what could be coming behind all of this. That's very, it's very surreal. It's very like, wow. We knew this type of shit was coming, but a lot of times it was like, damn, do you think it was going to fully happen in our lifetime? We wasn't sure.
Right, Jay.
But this shit is here. Like, for me to see, all right, 9/11 was one thing. That's America doing its own autonomous, thing. But when you have one of these world like where everybody in the world is in on it, where all countries are saying, all right, we're going to do this simultaneously, now that's when you really have to be like, whoa. And I'm sure they've been doing things together for a very long time, but this is a concerted effort. Like they're all on the same page, saying the same thing, trying to react to it the same way. Now, let me tell you another thing that I foresee coming with all of this. You know, for the longest time, they've been trying to fuse out paper money. They want to go to a cashless society so you can better control who gets what. If there's any dissonance, I can just cut your shit off. You can't save money in a mattress and all this type of shit. So now, what have they been saying about money for the longest time? Money is dirty. Okay? They're going to say at some point, in order to quell this virus and stop it, we need to stop passing around money. Watch, that's coming. That's coming. And in the name of motherfuckers being scared, they're going to ask for that. They're going to be like, fuck it, I don't need the money. You know, I got my card, it's on my phone, and all this type of shit. Mm. And once we go to a full cashless society, a lot of people's going to be fucked. Because, you know, the hustles, you know, especially in the hood, those hood hustles, it's going to be back to the barter system or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I was about to say, don't knock the hood hustles always.
People are going to go back to bartering. It's going to be straight like, yo, I got this. Will you take this in exchange for this? But as far as, yo, here's this much money and all of that, that shit's getting ready to be out the door. All these money phones and all that shit ain't going to mean a goddamn thing. Okay? If you ain't got it on your card. And then you could be doing everything you got to do. Everything's on your card. You're a good citizen. They could just single you out. You know what? You're turning your shit off. Now what you gonna do?
Yo, Jamar, first of all, shout out Bruno. Is that Bruno?
That's both of them. Yeah, that was just Bruno though that you saw, yeah.
Okay.
And Anubis is here too.
So since we've covered that international approach, can I suggest that we do hip-hop roundabout on hip-hop response to COVID-19?
Hip-hop response to COVID-19?
Yeah. Like, you know, I got a few notes jotted in terms of the culture, how it's affecting the culture, and, you know?
Well, it's killing the artist community for sure.
And that's what I'm going to touch on.
Right.
Entertainment, period.
Yeah, like the tours are being cut. People's incomes are being, you know,
Digga was supposed to be in Italy.
Bam.
Which, thank goodness.
Thank God.
You know, if it's everything that they say it was, then thank goodness you weren't in Italy. Because
I was so determined to go. I ordered me a hazmat suit from Amazon and everything. I was like, I refuse. I refuse to not do my show behind no damn.
A hazmat suit is cheaper than losing the bag. I was just getting a hazmat suit.
I bought an expensive suit from Amazon.
I rebuke thee, Rona. But listen, if I may, let me just breeze through this. Some things that stood out. A couple of days ago, Casanova, he was on the gram. He posted, he had a big altercation with the police. Him and his crew came out on Flatbush, breaking the so-called, you know, self-restriction laws. And the police came, and there was a big shoving match, and it almost went down. Afterwards, through pressure, Casanova pulled the post down and issued an apology to the hip-hop community, saying we got to respect law enforcement and we got to respect Corona. So that was one interesting thing. But then he went on the gram like, yo, this is my house in the Hamptons. Y'all see that lawn right there? It cost me $4,000 to cut the grass. I got lawyers, I got baby mama, this, blah, blah, blah. I gotta work. I was like, wow, that's interesting. Did y'all see the Cardi B thing? This went viral when she was like, Rona.
I heard about it, and then they made a little song out of it.
Yeah.
But now I also saw some shit where she said, I'm starting to think, and I wanted to bring this up too.
Yeah.
She said, I'm starting to think they paying celebrities to say that they got the Rona.
Man, shout out Johnny Taylor. Thanks for that dub.
She said now, thank you, Johnny Taylor. We appreciate you. She said, and if they are paying motherfuckers, she said, pay me.
Well,
Right.
I want to get paid. Now.
I don't put anything past anybody in these times, but I'll be honest, I think we all got it already. Like, I think it's been around, and I don't think it's anything new, and I think we all got it. I feel like the whole, like, the way it's being framed, like, such and such amount of people will get it. 200 new cases today, 300 new cases tomorrow. It's like, no, 200 people got tested today, and the test came back positive.
Right.
And then when y'all make the 300 tests available tomorrow, before y'all start turning people away, those 300 tests are gonna come back positive too. Like,
right, but here's the thing.
I'm of the Walking Dead belief. I think we all got it, and I still feel like it ain't hitting us melanated people the way it's hitting everybody else. I still believe that.
Well, here's the thing. Like, first of all, this is one of the most, like, why so many celebrities are being tested for it. It's almost like they're using the celebrities to make everybody feel like, yo, this shit is real. Like, you know when everybody really said, no, this shit is serious? When they fucking canceled the NBA.
The NBA. Mm-hmm.
When they did that, that's when it was, oh my God, this shit is real. Like, they wouldn't want to lose out on money. Listen, they already made their fucking money off that fucking shit.
Right.
Okay?
People already bought it.
It was almost over any fucking way. Number two, the motherfuckers that own these fucking sports franchises is down with all this fucking New World Order type of shit. Like they're willing to fake it out and act like, all right, we're going to lose a little money over here, only to gain something else somewhere else. Like, so.
Jamal,
don't get fooled.
A paid question.
Like, they show that's what they do in magic tricks. They show you one hand, you're looking at this hand, meanwhile this hand is the one really doing the fucking trick. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's looking at the other hand right now.
We have a paid question. I'm sorry, I just want to make sure.
Okay, let's go. Let's take paid. We taking paid questions because God knows we could use them.
What's up with that $1,000 check? I've been waiting patiently. Who blocking the money?
Okay, I've got an update on that. So apparently,
yeah, you got it. He said you got it too.
That is on the floor right now, and they're trying to blame the Democrats for holding it up. As it stands, the bill is supposed to be $1,200 for qualifying adults under the income bracket of $75,000 and $500 per child. And right now, and this is the Republican bill or whatever, if you will. And right now, the Democrats are saying no, because what is missing is the fact that in addition to these checks, they are trying to get a $50 billion bailout for the corporations. And the Democrats are saying no, don't try to toss some nickel and dime $1,000 checks to the people, but meanwhile, all these big CEO, all these billion-dollar corporations get the billions. So right now, if you see on the news that the Democrats are the one holding it up, it's because they are not in agreement with the private sectors getting $50 billion while Americans get $1,200. Yeah. So that's where right now, for the past 24 hours, they're at a deadlock right now because of that.
Shout out Alan Smith. Thanks for the donation, brother.
So listen, I wanted to speak on, like I said, I was at the supermarket earlier, and I've been going these past few days here and there, to get things. And what I noticed is, like I said, toilet paper, paper towels, all that shit is gone. Canned goods, all that shit is gone. You know what's still there, though? Fruits and vegetables.
Wow. Interesting.
You see, we don't understand that the real stuff that's going to heal you does not exist in those fucking cans of fucking beans or whatever the fuck you motherfuckers are clearing out off of them shelves. You need to go get them berries and them strawberries and them antioxidants, okay? From the blueberries and the blackberries and the let's get you some avocados and some, some alkaline, high alkaline foods like.
That's all I got right here, Jay.
Sea moss. And we'll talk to Rage because he'll hook you up with the sea moss. Listen, it's fucking retarded. Like y'all scared, but this is almost a good thing because now we could talk about, preventative measures. We can talk about getting into our exercise regimen, because now you're scared. Now you're scared. Like before it was some bullshit. Well, you know what the cure for the Rona is? Push-ups, motherfucker.
Can I testify that
I'm the cure for the Rona.
I'm guilty of that, and I just want to give testimony to the church. That I feel like a real hypocrite in this day and time, Jay, because you are correct. When we came up in the 90s, the body of work that we digested academically, and then even people like me who went a step further and joined organizations, we were supposed to be prepped for these type of times, mind, body, and soul. I spent the last 2 decades being the Duke of Ho-Hos and the King of Pop-Tarts. And now when it's time for to hit the ground running, I'm slacking. I'm trying to get in shape last minute. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It don't feel good. But you gotta start.
And imagine you really had to hit the ground running.
I'd be fucked up.
First of all, let me just make this disclaimer. We as Americans suffer from what you call first world privilege. We are some pieces of shit. Because at the end of the day, if we're really supposed to be locking down, quarantining, like you can't Uber eat. It's just, I can stay in the house. I'm just gonna Uber eat. Like it's motherfuckers cooking the food, motherfuckers delivering the food. But like that's not quarantining. Quarantining, like imagine if you come from a third world country, or you come from somewhere where they're used to famine, they are used to hurricane, like they are used to no electricity. They make it happen with rice and beans and potatoes, and really can't, like, not that you can't leave the house because you're gonna get sick. You can't leave the house because it ain't nothing going on outside but real looting, or there's no power because we just had a hurricane and the entire island is dark. Like,
yeah, right on. Can I?
We're not like, we think because we ran out of shrimp and shit. Oh God, this quarantine.
Now hang on. Let me just say this because this reminded me. So now when this happened, right, and I started seeing people hoarding things in the supermarket, right? This immediately made me think that, wow, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad warned us of this years ago. This was part of the science of why you were to eat 1 meal a day.
Shout out Crazy Mo. Thank you.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us in How to Eat to Live and in other books, Fall of America and all, that there will be a time when there will be a shortage, and you can't be accustomed to eating these 3 meals a day, 5+ snacks, 5 meals a day.
It's crazy.
You have to be accustomed to eating 1 meal a day. And I'm going to tell you right now, people, if you haven't been doing that, because I used to do that for a very long time. I got off of it, but I'm thinking that's something we need to get back to because, it could get very real out here in a second.
I like to tag on to that.
real
right now, but it can get much realer.
It can get much realer, and you know what else I'm noticing too? I'm noticing all of the the white people loading up on all the guns. I don't know
Exactly.
if while we having Instagram parties and shit, they are fucking racking up on the guns.
God save us. Yeah.
And I don't know how many Walking Dead fans are out there, right? Let me just take y'all on a little journey real quick. Like, this show been on TV for like 10 years. And
I fucked with it for a minute, but then I got away from it.
In the beginning, it was all about the zombies, and you gotta watch out for the zombies. And not too long after they got used to having to look out for the zombies, the new threat became the people. Because what happens when you're in a fight for your life, it's like you get to a point where like you run into other people, and at first you still have your humanity with you, and you might want to help this person, but that person is really plotting and scheming on you. Or you can help someone at the detriment of your own family or your own life, or you run the risk of exposing your homestead to what they got going on. So it's like, when it gets to that point, like, that's when we really gonna be in civil unrest. But one thing I did notice from watching that show, it really got like that, like, overnight. Like, right now, there are people who are dealing with, they haven't got, since this quarantine, since they started reporting on this a week or two ago, there's people that have not received any income since. So eventually you run out of money, and people are getting there. By the way, you can call your mortgage companies, and you can call your your loan, whoever you get an auto loan from. They not volunteering this information, but they cannot deny you a post-dated payment. So if you're having, if you're one of those people that are dealing with, oh shit, my car note due,
Oh no,
shit,
they can't kick you out or none of that type of shit.
They can't kick you out, but what they're not telling you is they can actually just completely extend your shit. Not like 3 months from now you owe 3 times as much. Like, no, they can suspend the the payments.
Right, but here's another part where this is how certain people benefit. See, you always got to look at who benefits off of shit like this. So, of course, all right, they might not kick you out on your mortgage and all that. You're still gonna owe it though. Like none of this shit is gonna be like, oh, during the time of the coronavirus, I don't have to pay none of my bills. No, this is actually meant to put people in the hole. And debt is slavery. So when you put people in debt, you see what I'm saying?
But that's part of the bailouts. Like those companies that are getting bailouts, that's what they're justifying these the bailouts for. It's like, look, we can't charge people for their car note. The auto industry needs a bailout. The airline industry needs a bailout. That's what
right. Or the people can't pay it. They're still gonna charge the people though. They're not gonna just say you don't have to pay this.
No.
They're just gonna let it accrue.
You just gotta pay it later.
Right, and so that's what I'm saying. So now people that could have been up to their payments before, they're always on time paying their shit. Now these people are in debt. Everybody, they're trying to put everybody in the negative. Like, you know what I mean?
Shout out to Johnny Taylor.
I'm trying to explain to you. They're not going. If you just don't do it, that's what's going to happen. You have to say to them, I am no longer receiving an income, and they can suspend the payment. So when June comes, you don't owe 3 months worth of car notes. That's what I'm saying. They're not volunteering this information to you.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Digga. We got to look.
I'm telling you from people I know that personally have income that is directly being you have to prove to them. I mean, they would know based on your income history. Like, they know your job. If you tell them I have a job that I cannot work at right now because of this, they can't hold you like You can have it.
From what I understand, they won't out, but you still gonna owe. You're still gonna owe, but we just not gonna kick your ass out right now. But you still gonna owe.
I mean, you have to, eventually you're gonna have to resume your payments. But what I'm saying is come June, you're not gonna have to make 3 payments. It's just going to kick back to payment 1. I'm telling you, I mean, you can.
All right, we'll see. I believe that this is being used to try to put everybody in the hole. And everybody to try to, you know what I mean, to put in that slavery. Just the way America's in a hole to other countries with this fucking deficit and all of that. They want to make every fucking single person in the world actually go in the hole as much as possible. Yeah, they're
shout out Dre Mitch.
All of
shout
that.
out Johnny Taylor.
Yeah, listen. Your show got fucked up. I was supposed to do the shit. We were supposed to do the shit at Sony Hall and all that. That shit is dead. Like.
First of all, how about I had a whole April 4th Dirty Harriet 20th anniversary rollout lined up.
You're breaking up, girl.
Sorry, hang on, guys. My phone is.
There you go. You was breaking up.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I had a whole April 4th Dirty Harriet 20th anniversary rollout, and you know, all the shows are canceled. I'm sorry, guys. I just lost. Okay, we got this. Let's leave it right there. And I was gonna do, like, on that day, I was gonna do like a special live stream performance, like, oh, you know, get this virtual experience. I was going to charge people, but now I feel like, damn, everybody's just doing free ass concerts now. Like, I don't want to be, you know, am I gonna be the dickhead making everybody pay and shit? Like, I'm like, damn, you know, who gonna pay to see Rah Digga perform Dirty Harriet when you can get a whole ass Erykah Badu concert live from her bedroom and shit? Like, just fuck my whole little celebration up.
Maybe they'll just be generous and just wanna, you know what I mean? They'll just want to give because they love Dirty Harriet, you know?
Hold on, guys. I'm sorry, I lost the audio.
Yes, it's funny, Jay. It'll be dope to just got on this topic of virtual parties to really shout out DJ D Nice and the history he made, man. That was a real big deal.
D Nice.
Shout out DJ D Nice.
I'm gonna log out and log back in because I can't hear anybody anymore. I don't know what just happened. Hang on.
Okay.
So Jay, let's shout out these people.
Give your shout outs. I'll be right back. I gotta
Don't fall. All right on. Okay, so guys, my super chatters, man. Dre Mitch in the building. Johnny Taylor. Teflon Don said, if you can get a gun, get yourself other weapons. Give me an example of another decent weapon, my brother, because the sides of goddamn homemade bow and arrow, I'm out of options. But I did. You think a nigga playing? Nigga went ahead on Amazon and got him a nice trusty little knife. All-purpose knife. Because I gotta cut some cardboard or cut some tin cans or cut a fucker. You know what I'm saying? So give me an example, bro. Where you chat about? What you talk about? Butcher knives. Acid works. Knowledge of self, absolutely NC cool. You know what I'm saying? Machete always works. Nice, good reach. You know what I'm saying? Box cutter, absolutely. Word. Machete. Uh-huh. Incidentally, Sheena, before, are you from Latin America? Throw that acid on you, it's OV. Molotov cocktail, I like that, but then you run the risk of burning your own shit down. Mace, crystal crossbow, baseball bat. That's real, man. You know, it's interesting, man, from a military standpoint. you really want to check your homes. Make sure you know all the points of entry. I'm the nigga that have booby traps, man. You come in the wrong window, anything could fall on your ass, including you. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully cooler heads will prevail and the human spirit will kick in and we'll see a lot more compassion. But some people can't really take the stress. Are you a vet, Teflon? Yeah, see, your knowledge is important, man. Yo, at the very least, my concern, Tef, is these young boys in the hood with these arms who don't respect them. You get tired of hearing when they have their little wars that they shoot grandma, the girl jumping rope across the street, hit everybody but the intended target. Can you take them to the range, Tef? A wrist sling shot, yeah. Yeah. Erica Vandross. 20 years back. Okay, Johnny. Word. Yeah, man. Wasp spray. Fatima, where you from? Fatima 13, you got a lot of answers. Like, you're not the one.
Rah Digga?
1 2 1 2.
I hear you.
All right. I see you guys.
Sound clear.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. The whole volume just went away before.
Hey, Digga, when you left, what's interesting is me and the YouTube chatters were talking about other options for weapons other than guns. So far on the menu, we got bow and arrows, mace, goddamn knives, machetes. Would you like to contribute to this menu? I mean, I know you gives it up, but any suggestions?
Slingshot.
Slingshot.
Spear. I don't know. My personal favorite, the crossbow. I mean, it's a little bulky, but if when it gets to a point where we got to live off the land, that's very valuable, because especially like if you're hunting, that's why people use bow and arrow, because one gunshot you're scaring the rest of the animals away.
Food. And Digga, by the way, if it get too thick, Digga, just get behind me. I got a knife. I cut a fucker. Right? Oh
nah, see, I've been waiting for the apocalypse. Yo, I ain't even going front. One of my homeboys hit me up like, "Yo, you gotta be marveling in this right now." He laughs at me because I have a zombie apocalypse kit in the car,
right.
With like the tinfoil blankets and the flares, and the waterproof matches.
Yeah, bug out shit, right?
You really do got a tinfoil hat, don't you?
But Digga, why do I have these images of you running into a cave with a dead deer over your shoulder? You just killed.
I got a whole ass bunker in Pennsylvania, bro. Y'all been waiting for this.
Nigga, it's like, I'm killing this shit. Word. Staple gun, bleach in the face, lighter fluid, razor blade.
People, what happened to our beautiful, positive people? Look at the savage just coming out of everybody.
Katana. Fatima's box cutters. Okay,
box cutter.
Ain't fucking with y'all. What?
I'm scared of our viewers.
We got the right ones in here. Fatima, you must be from Brownsville, man. Because you on that box cutter. That's religion over there.
Listen, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Like, comment, all of that.
Mm-hmm. And if you do have to hunt animals, you should know how to prepare them. See, that was stuff I learned in Pennsylvania.
Right. You know what, Digga, if I may, I wanted to touch on something you were saying earlier in terms of like when you was referring like the Uber Eats and all that. There's a teachable moment in everything that's going on here. I always try to employ people to take advantage of with their children. They say everything is political, but the most political thing you have in your house is food. And we think that goddamn food comes from the bodega or C-Town. We don't respect the politics to put that tomato on your plate, you know what I'm saying, or the meat. And Western society has made us comfortable to the point where we don't understand what truly makes or safeguards a homestead is how close your home is to renewable food that you need to sustain life, water source, you know, whatever chickens you're gonna grow, or a garden you're gonna grow your food. So this city life infrastructure is so unstable because they close one bridge, one port, touch one wrong nerve center, and you can't get nothing.
And thank you, Rage, for that, because now that leads me to what I wanted to bring up. Another thing is, you know, this should all show us what we should be prepared for in the future.
Right.
You know, the certain knowledge that really would be helpful in our lives right now. You see what I'm saying? Like we fill ourselves with useless knowledge, but things that can help us right now, like how to, because we're at spring. This is the time where we should be planting seeds to, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yep.
To do what you got to do. We don't know any of that. We need to be getting into that type of shit.
Not we. I got a whole water well.
Gee.
Huh?
I'm ready. I've been preparing my whole
Well, having a water well, do you have a garden? Do you have, you know what I mean, fruits and vegetables that you can, you know what I mean?
I got a whole acre of land. I'll work it out.
Right, but see, that's what I'm saying.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I've grown. I have things growing. It ain't food. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, well, you see what I'm saying? We need to be growing that food. We need to be doing all of that.
Hey, I got a hell of a barter system though, set in motion in the event.
Yeah, well,
I got some green for some oranges. Well, what say you?
at some point, we might have way too much weed and not enough, you know what I mean? Spinach and potatoes and shit like that.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I spent you know, several years living in a rural part of Pennsylvania that was definitely a world away from what I was accustomed to.
Yeah.
But that was the way of life for everybody around me. And I said, you know what? When in Rome, do as the Romans. Let me not be the one unaware of whatever. Like, oh, okay. Oh, you going to get, oh, okay. This what we doing today. We going to the range. Oh, cool. This is what we doing. We like the first time, I mean, you know, I ain't some super rough and tough person. The first time I went hunting and stuff, I was terrified. The guys I was with, they was mad at my daughter because she was screaming to save the deer. Like, run, Deary! My baby said, run, Deary! Made the deer take off and stuff. But I thought like, okay, like I never thought I would see the day where I would need to do this. But I said, you know what? Let me just learn it. Like, I know how to rap. I know how to do all this other stuff. Let me learn how to hunt. Let me learn how to prepare a deer. Let me learn how to gut a fish. Like, you just never know. And then, and as I learned it and just like, oh, okay, oh, wow, underground bunkers only cost like 30 grand. You could have whole shop set up. I got a whole acre of land. Why not? Like, just different little things I learned that I never thought in life that, you know, in this world that I would need. But it was like, you know what? Why not? You never know. And then as much apocalypse and stuff, end of the world stuff I watch, like I freak my own self out watching all this stuff on TV. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let me just in case. And I feel like where we at right now, it's like, okay, we're not quite there, but all it takes is for one breaking news report for them to be like, yo,
that's right.
The supermarkets are officially closed.
That's
exactly.
Yo, shout out Elmatic. He said, buy two-way radios. The time I spent with people in the hacker community, they definitely were enthusiasts to get into like ham radios. I definitely recommend that. You know, ham radios.
Now, here's what I wanted to say, since we're, you know, we're talking about gardening and growing stuff and all that, you know, I said this before, and this is not something I made up or whatever, but this is just a fact. It's not in the seed, it's in the soil. Okay?
Right.
It's not in the seed, it's in the soil. So I was just reading in the comments, somebody said, I'm in Chicago. It's winter out here right now. How am I supposed to garden or whatever? Well, you know, I guess you have to know your area. You understand what I'm saying? Like whenever the time is right to plant the seed. And see, that's the thing. So you can have any seed, right? If you plant it at the wrong time, it's not going to grow. So you can have COVID-19, you can have fucking Ebola. If your soil is not primed for the seed to manifest, then you got nothing to worry about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's about the soil and not the seed. They got you so worried about if you get introduced to the seed. Well, as long as your soil is not fertile for that to grow, you good. You see what I'm saying?
Right on.
So I can take a marijuana seed or any kind of seed, and if I plant it at the wrong time of year and treat it the wrong way, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not gonna grow. Or just plant at the wrong time of year and I could do everything right. It's just the wrong time. I planted at the wrong time. It won't grow. So keep that in mind. Stop being so scared of the seed. Worry about your soil. Make sure your soil is good to where these viruses are not going to take a hold of you. You know, niggas get hit with virus every day, B. You be all right. You tough, right?
Right.
Damn wrong voice. But seriously, like we get hit with all kind of viruses every fucking day. And most of us, especially those who, you know, are not living that swiney lifestyle that, you know, try to have some sort of health consciousness. Even if it's not extreme, it still combats a lot of the negative shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Thus keeping your soil not primed for, you know what I mean? Because what Dr. Sebi teaches, what's the main enemy of the fucking body? Mucus. You find motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Shit starts getting in your throat and your nose, and what comes about? Mucus. Mucus is the enemy of the fucking body, and I'm sure mucus is a big component with this COVID-19 shit. Actually, I think they say the mucus might harden or something in the chest and gives people makes it hard for them to breathe.
Right.
With this COVID. So again, mucus is the fucking enemy. Stay away from things that produce mucus. Cheese, ice cream, you know what I mean? Fucking milk, all that type of shit.
Dairy.
All that dairy shit.
You know, it's interesting, Jay. You see, I got into the sea moss business at the right time.
Right.
Sometimes I wonder, like, I'm almost like, I'm not gonna sell any of this shit. I'm just gonna sit on it for friends and family, you know. But everybody look into sea moss. Dr. Sebi is one of the most universally approved natural remedies that Dr. Sebi and I've seen Western medicine to holistic medicine say across the board it has healing properties. Particularly has 92 the trace minerals of the 102 minerals found in the body. It boosts the immune system, rids mucus. Again, it's considered a tonic, good for virility, for male vigor. And
that's what you would call a front end lifter, yes?
A front end lifter for young lifter,
yes.
Okay. Yes, front lifter, you know. And particularly like you were saying, Jay, there's a little bit of confusion between like where to get the sea moss from. And sea moss that they say you want to absolutely avoid is from China. Not because of any diseases, or particularly what they raise it in a pool, as opposed to what you're looking for is what's called wild crafted sea moss.
Right, so that's like farm raised. Just like farm-raised fish, you
farm
don't fuck
raised
with.
versus wild
You
caught.
want wild-caught fish.
Exactly. So what's happening, like they say, if you go on websites like Alibaba, you can get sea moss for $1 a pound. It's not the real thing. You want to source your sea moss, particularly the number one place to source it from is St. Lucia. And then it has to be wild crafted, you know?
And this is the sea moss you have.
Of course, it's the sea moss I got it for cheap, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I got. And it's ironic, I got into the biz right at this point in time where this stuff is happening. So
if people want to get some sea moss from you, what they got to do?
Well, Jay, as you and I have been discussing, we definitely plan on putting a good ration of it for availability on Yanadameen.com. To all the people in the chat now, if you guys are interested, you want to source some information or consider it, feel free to drop a line in the comments section.
I trade your green for my green.
Digga, I just want you to teach me how to shoot, man. You get all the sea moss you need, trust me. But yeah, y'all drop a comment, man. We'll get it popping, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. Health as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, above all, I'm encouraging everybody to stay safe, and regardless of what we want to believe or don't want to believe, Black people can't get it, and there's all sorts of everybody in some shape or form of denial. We gotta be mindful of our elders because it is affecting our elders the most. I had to get in my daughter's ass because she's in a, she made some Facebook news with her and just the youth in the community just running around acting a fool like we ain't getting sick. It's for the old people, but we still have parents and grandparents that can get sick even if we don't get sick. So we can go out and be defiant all we want, but at the end of the day, we can't bring that shit back to our 70 and 80-year-old elders in the community. So let's
it's real though. What if okay, hang on. What if though, Digga? Like what if all of this is just some bullshit?
I mean, it can be some bullshit, but is that I'm not willing to. That's not a risk I'm willing to take with.
And that's what And I hear you on that. You see what I'm saying? Like
I said, if it was like me personally,
and that's how they get motherfuckers. They're like, well, even if they don't believe it, a lot of them feel like, well, that's not a risk I want to take, type of shit.
Like me personally, yes, I was still very much willing to get on a plane to Milan, hazmat suit and all, but is that a risk, but am I willing to come back home and be my mother's caretaker if it's, if it's not a sham? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be so defiant.
Because again, just because something is, that's what I'm saying, it could be so many things. It could be totally fake, or it could be something that's introduced and all that. Like it could be real, but it's introduced and all that.
What if it's way realer than what they're even letting on? Like
what if it's not as real as what they're saying? See, I mean, it can go either direction. It could be iller than what they're saying, or it could be not as ill at all. You see what I'm saying? But we're just going on these words. But
it's okay to caution on the side of error, though.
Here's what I have a problem with. I have a problem taking the word of the biggest liars in history. Like, that's all. Like, these scientists, just a few hundred years ago would have said, you as a black person is, your skull is bigger and you're from a monkey and you're less intelligent than white people. That would have been science. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and we know that that's some bullshit.
But you can say that from the comfort of you and your home and your healthy self. I unfortunately am my mother's caretaker. Like, I can't be that defiant and take that risk living with a 70-something-year-old. Like, I can't do it. As much as I think all of them are crocking shit, that's not a risk I'm willing to take, being in close proximity to my mother.
I'm not even talking about taking the risk. I'm just saying I have a problem believing people that are known liars. That's all. But am I taking precautions too? Like when I go to the supermarket, do I really right now want to put my hands on those fucking, carts and shit all raw like that? No. And remember you gave me, you gave me those rubber gloves. Remember that? You gave me those pack of rubber gloves, Digga. You remember that?
Oh, I've been on some shit. I've been not touching.
But you had some extra rubber gloves or something. You gave me a pack, and I put them in the back of my truck.
I walk around with. I've been walking around with the squirt bottle of alcohol and baby wipes.
Digga, I pulled the gloves out when I went to the supermarket because I didn't want to be grabbing the fucking.
Man,
like
I
hear what you're saying.
I can't even tell you how many. I can't even tell you how many years it's been since I touched the door handle or pushed the elevator button.
At the same time, I just want us to not be blindly trusting the word of these scientists, and just blindly believing everything they're saying because they're not trustworthy. Like they're just not. They're not trustworthy.
I don't think we should be doing that, but I think we should be doing all of the sanitary measures and precautions
anyway.
Just because you should have been doing that anyway. Like, you should not just now be investing in alcohol and Lysol. Like, that should have been a part of your daily.
You should not just now be washing your hands after you take a shit and you wipe your ass. Okay, you nasty motherfucker.
I've been arguing with my daughter for years. She come outside, play. First thing she do is walk straight in the house to the refrigerator. Wash your hands. You gotta wash your hands first. Wash your hands when you come outside. Wash your hands before you cook food. Wash your hands before you dig in my pots. Wash your hands before you go on my refrigerator. Like,
whoa, dig in your pot.
My pots, my food.
I'm sorry. Never mind.
Also, Digga.
Yeah,
I got confused, Digga.
Digga, I gotta help.
And you should definitely be washing
before you digging in that too, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Digga, I also want to correct you earlier. Ain't nobody watching no BBCs over here, so pause.
I can't stay. All right, Joe. All right.
Nobody watching no BBCs, man.
No, seriously though, all jokes aside, just be as sanitary as you can be anyway. And what I will agree with is they are definitely covering up shit and not telling the truth. We could go either way. Either they're either blowing it out of proportion for population control and mind controlling the people, or it's way more serious than they letting on. That's why they've been selling their stocks. Like, whatever belief, whichever side of the pendulum you want to roll, I still think, you should be cautious nonetheless, because we really don't know the origin of this. We really don't know, or, that we claim to know that it's from Wuhan, but we don't know exactly when it started. That's just what they found out. So for all of the people that are getting tested positive, there's probably millions more that aren't getting tested or probably had it and fought it off. There's just too many unknown variables, and that's really what's causing the fear. It's the fear of the unknown, and you just got to safeguard yourself as best as possible. Don't be defiant because you don't want to take the word of the man. It's not about the word of the man right now. It's about really not knowing and just being cautious. That's
now here's another thing that I spoke about when I went on to shout out Godfrey. He's not here right now. But I went on his show, Digga. I went and did his podcast.
Without me, you suck.
Godfrey, you trust. Listen, I was social distancing, okay? I don't. You were coughing.
Hey.
Whatever.
But anyway, so you know, we were talking about the psychosomatic side of this. Now, when you talk about something so much, you see what I'm saying? In some people, they can create the symptoms in their minds. Mm-hmm. Okay, now this is where we got to be careful, and I just want to tell our viewers, like, be careful of this, because you can create, oh my God, is my throat bothering me? Hang on, am I getting, you know, and you can, the mind over matter, you can start to, basically you can kill yourself with your mind. Okay?
Absolutely.
Like, you can actually make yourself believe you have something that you don't have, on some hypochondriac type shit, on some psychosomatic type of shit. And you know, when the media, when all you hear 24 hours a day from the media, coronavirus, and now they're showing you the images of it too. I'd suggest to close your eyes and not look at those cells and all of that, because shit like that can help mentally give you the imagery in your mind to help those cells grow inside you.
I hate the way that thing looks.
That's why they're giving you the frame of reference of what it looks like.
I wish they stopped showing that picture. I hate that damn thing.
So all I'm saying is, you know, now is the time when we need to do things to strengthen our mind, you know, meditation and all of that, because, you know, the mind is what creates your environment. And if we don't take control of our thoughts and where they go and all of that type of shit, not only can you create dis-ease within yourself, but you'll be helping to create a world. You'll help to co-create a world for yourself that you're not even, didn't really want to be a part of, but they got your mind to be so fearful that you help them create it. You help create that shit with them. So don't be out here begging for vaccines and begging, you know, for motherfuckers to, you know, stay inside and all, like.
I think people are forgetting too that this is, like, outside of this corona, this is flu season and bronchitis season. It's
and
like
allergy season, nigga.
Yeah.
So now you got all of these and what the symptoms is regular schmegular shit, a fever, really, a sore throat and a cough. See, that's again to make people super paranoid in a season where all of this shit is going on anyway.
Already.
You know what I mean? So now anybody coughing and, you know, so now we're using that hype to help curb your movements. You know what I mean? Like, the police know where everybody's at right now. Like, if they want to go get motherfuckers, most people is at home right now. You know what I mean? Like, let's keep it real. Like, this is.
I mean, there's a lot of you know, there's a lot to gain from certain entities. I just you know, I would like to think that this is something that will, you know, how they originally reported, it will, you know, they're hoping it's going to pass like any other flu season. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping the world can kind of get somewhat, you know, back to normal really quickly, especially for the people that don't have the luxury of just staying home and not receiving an income at all. And I hope that this people, you know, really like just reflect, you know, in this downtime, just reflect like, yo, in the blink of an eye, all your luxuries and comforts and things that you take for granted can be gone like instantly. You know, how would you survive? What would you do? Like, we really got to get in that frame of mind. And total sidebar, I think it's interesting that there's just $0 for reparations, but now we just got trillions of dollars to help everybody in a crisis. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, people use this downtime to just really reflect on like where you are in life right now. Like, yo, if everything just shut down right now, will I be all right? And if the answer is no, you might need to reevaluate some life choices and think of some, you know, just think of some self preservation options and really practice them and really execute them. Like I said, you know, all of that stuff I was doing, you know, with my property in PA, you know, that was a hobby, never really thinking that there would come a time where I would need that stuff. But hey, you got to think like that. For real, for real.
Yeah. Looks like we lost Rage somehow.
I still see him popping up. Rage? Maybe. He might have logged out. Well, enough about the Rona. Let's shift gears a little bit. How about that Jay Electronica album?
You ready to go there?
I love the album. Everybody's got their opinions and stuff. I love it. I'm a Muslim. I love it. I understood everything he's saying. All these people talk about, they don't know what he's talking about. Screw them. I love it. I'm here for it.
Okay, me, you know, I gotta say, man, I am such a big Jay Electronica fan. You know, I was a fan of, you know, Victory Is Mine, you know, Anakin Skywalker, fucking Exhibit C, all of that shit. I sat and waited patiently like everybody else, and I'm sorry, but I am disappointed. I don't, you know, after such a long wait, what we got, I'm just, as a whole, like he had some good verses and stuff on there, but the Jay Electronica that I was so wowed by, like he was my favorite guy at one point. You got to understand, like when I discovered Jay Electronica and was brought into that world, he was my guy. Like,
okay. So
and hang on. I just want to say, and so, and the production, like the fact that there's no Just Blaze on here, like it's a lot of things that
I heard that criticism a lot.
There's a lot of things on
responded.
here that is just a disappointment to me. To me, having Jay-Z on every song is a disappointment, you know? And I love Jay-Z too. I love Jay Electronica and I love Jay-Z, but I did not love them both together like that. Like it just, Rage is calling. Hang on a second. I just wasn't in love with it. Yo. Oh, okay. Rage is back. Yeah, so I don't know. I just, you know, I wasn't in love with the overall presentation. I felt like by having Jay-Z on it, on every song, it was almost, I felt like his confidence, you know, to me it showed a lack of confidence in what he was doing.
I would be curious to know why he chose to do that. But one thing I do like about Jay-Z's presence is that he brought Jay-Z into his world. It wasn't Jay Elect trying to conform commercially or whatever to what Jay-Z does. Like, Jay-Z got his God body bag. I'm like, I know Nas was looking like, oh, word, you trying to keep knowledge?
Well, listen, now, if you've been noticing, Jay-Z has been doing a little shit for a long time. Like, for
no, he has. He has, but,
you know,
not to this degree.
I
And
know, and that's what I'm saying. So this was his chance to like really display that type of shit that he's always kind of wanted to display in a certain way.
I saw a lot of people complain about the production. The production to me didn't bother me because like Jay Electronica is one of those type of lyricists where like and you know we have this conversation all the time about how different people just digest music. I digest hip hop with the words first. Like I hone in on the lyrics first. And for me, like there are certain artists where like their production doesn't even matter to me because it's almost like their production is just kind of like ambiance, if you will. It's like it's almost like you know, just background noise. And that's actually that's kind of how I digest Rock Marcy's music too. Like to me, you know, he doesn't have the most stellar production, but it's like what he's saying. If you're watching a movie, sometimes just the theme music and the background noise just kind of adds to the picture that's being painted. And that's how I, you know, that's how
I disagree with that part.
That's how I digest.
I digest my hip hop probably with the beat first because that's how hip hop started, with just the beats. Like the MC came later with hip hop.
I mean, I don't think there's no right and wrong. I think
no, but I'm just telling you how I digest it and why. You see what I'm saying? So we were digesting the beats first, and then the MC came later. So what I'm saying is, and as somebody who was a DJ and I make beats and all that, I'm listening to the whole thing. Like especially as a producer, like I'm listening to not just the lyrics. That the beat is not a background thing for me. The beat and the lyrics for me have to be a marriage that are so symbiotic that they become one. You see what I'm saying?
I've actually heard that from a lot of people. Like you're not alone in that thinking.
So when that happens,
in regards,
and when the MC, part of the MC being good is also the beats that they pick.
Well, that's what makes people, you know, goats, is when they have the total package and can make the whole marriage of everything.
So I'm saying he had great beats before. Like some of his beats were unorthodox, but they were dope. This just was not dope to me. Like this was not the Jay Elect that I had waited 10 years. And you got to understand, after 10 years,
I think there's a lot of
you got to come back correct. Like you can't make people wait that fucking long and then come back half-ass. And I'm gonna say this was half-ass to me. And I love Jay Electronica. Like I love him. I love what he stands for. I would love what he, you know, his creativity, what he represented, but he didn't reflect the Jay Electronica I know. And I'm just disappointed. That's all I can say.
Shout out Chinese Puff Daddy, Queen Crafts, and Chairman Fred Hampton Jr.
He was going to fuck off on that album, man.
So listen, you know, there's a part on the album where he speaks on the synagogues of Satan.
Right.
And your boy, Peter Rosenberg, had a problem with it. Oh, I felt away, blah, 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 blah. Like, yo. Like, out of all the shit that's said in hip hop, every day, like, black people get murdered in hip hop, get called bitches and hoes, but this is the thing that you have a problem with.
Well, I mean, he's a Jew, so I guess the Jews
Yeah,
have a
but it's
problem
like,
with that. The women
you know,
have a problem with the bitches and hoes.
it's okay. It's
The Jews have
okay
a problem.
for all the other shit. All the other shit is cool until somebody says something that may be construed as something negative to the Jews.
I mean, I'm saying I think women have a problem with the bitches and hoes. Gays have a problem with rappers saying the word faggot. So Jews would have a problem with.
But here goes what's funny though, is Jay Electronica didn't say, hey, the Jews did this, or all you Jews do this or that.
Yeah, I didn't take it as I didn't take it as a anti-Semitic line.
In fact, what he did is he drew a point and he referenced a Jewish document, the Holy Bible, and he referenced a term that Jewish people put about in the Bible, synagogue of Satan. It's simply like someone might call you, a fake conscious person or fake pastor. Like synagogue of Satan is not from the synagogue of God. He used a biblical religious reference in the context that the Bible meant for it to be used.
Right. And this Jew attached himself to it.
It's like
and tried to act like it was a slight against him.
It's crazy.
And all I'm saying is negative shit is said about black people by black people all day on records that he loves. That he didn't have a problem with the shit that was said then. Right. But now all of a sudden, he got a problem with this shit. First of all, I'm going to keep it real. Like, ever since this motherfucker came into the mix, I was like, who is this fucking Rosenberg guy? Like, why is he here? Why was he on Hot 97? Like.
How did he make his bones?
How did he make his fucking way into the game in the first fucking place? Like.
I never met him. I never ran into him. Never heard of him.
Yeah, all of a sudden he was doing like this overnight, like underground hip hop type show on Hot 97. He just came out of nowhere. Like seriously, I don't know where this motherfucker came from. And I was just like, who is this fucking Jewish dude? Like, and then all of a sudden they put him on the morning show. Like he had a morning show, like real fast. I was like, this is fucking ridiculous right here. Like, and so
I see that happening a lot though. I see a lot of white people are, being because they're studying the culture, from a I guess like a scholastic perspective. Yeah, like they're studying
yes.
Yeah, they're studying it like a course in school, and they get immersed in it, and I mean, I hate to be the one to say it, but yeah, at a Chuck D concert, it's gonna be all of them, man. It's like
100%.
Like this.
Lyrics, word for word, too. The B-sides, nigga. They be knowing the B-sides of Public Enemy records.
Right. And I hate to say that oftentimes when we have these when we're having hip hop conversations from an academia perspective, some of these conversations I feel like, why are the white people making all the sense and the black people are sounding like idiots? Yeah, I feel that way a lot in a lot of these hip hop discussions. So I'm not gonna negate his relevance just because he's white or he comes from wherever. But
what is his relevance? This is what I wanted to know. Like, what makes him a hip hop expert?
I mean, I wouldn't say like he's necessarily a hip hop expert. I just feel like he studied the craft just like anybody else has, and he
didn't study the craft. He's not a rapper.
He seemingly, rappers don't even study the craft. Rappers just
right. Yeah, I agree with Digga.
Rappers can string some words together and be the biggest buffoons on the planet. So let's not act like just because you're a rapper, like you get merit. Like no.
Rosenberg definitely has studied the craft, the span of hip hop, the certain technical aspects of it, but from an academic, scholastic level, not from an insider, lover of the art and coexister, almost an observer almost. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like you have these, you know, I feel like I feel like, of course, we as Black people, we feel entitled to, you know, hip hop because we, you know, it was created for us, by us. But you have other races and other cultures of people that will study it. It's kind of like this. It's the same way you get the white people that get straight A's in Black history class, but the Black people
don't get me started.
But the Black people are getting the C's and D's because we ain't studying a lick. We just think we know it all, but they can actually recite the Martin Luther King "I Have a Dream" speech.
Jesus Christ!
That, like,
listen, but Digga, also to add on to what you're saying too. Again, when we were having that culture,
this is how I feel like other races treat hip hop.
When we were having that culture bandit conversation a few weeks ago, we keep repeating the same thing in our history, like jazz, for instance. If you want to appreciate jazz today, what we have is a watered down derivative of jazz in the States. You have to go to Europe and Japan to really see the jazz musicians get into that old craft. Same thing with hip hop. If you want that intellectual boom bap style hip hop with integrity, the ingredients, that nutrition, you got to go to Europe where it's still popular. Over here, we get the hussed out, commodified, throwaway, disposable stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, unfortunately, I feel like that's sort of how we.
Yeah, why does J. Rue the Damager have to go all the way to Europe to celebrate his 25th anniversary? It's things like that. Like, why can I go do sold out shows all over Europe, but over here I gotta haggle with my people about how am I relevant enough? You know, am I more relevant than Cardi B and them? It's like, yeah, it's shit like that.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, but again, in my opinion, it goes right back to the relationship that we have in this world, in the sense that anything that we create that's nutritious, that could potentially serve us in advancement, eventually the foreigner's gonna be like, hey, what you got over there? Give me that. You don't need that. You take this. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how we live in out here, and we keep reliving it over and over when you know how to identify it.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I'm not gonna take him getting offended so personal. He's Jewish, and he felt like that was an offensive line to him. That's his right to feel that way. Like, we don't like when people tell us what we as Black people should be offended by. So I'm not going to tell a Jewish person what they should or shouldn't be offended by.
You know, and in closing, Digga, just to lend some more validity to what you're saying, when I recently did a stint in the hospital, I met a 23-year-old Asian man named Chang. This dude changed my life. This guy was 23 years old and can completely break down the history of the Black Panther Party, where he feel they deviated, the difference between the political lines of the founding members, Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale, Eldridge Cleaver, what he would do if he was a Panther, the state's viewpoint of how they saw them. I mean, completely broke down things that the average Black person wouldn't even know existed. That's who we compete with out here in this world. We're in trouble.
Well, listen, I would like to find, you know, a path. Maybe
I was wondering where you went. I'm like,
path.
wait a minute. How is Jamar quiet all this time? I thought you left.
I'm listening. I'd like somebody to find us a past clip of Rosenberg saying, you know, I didn't really like that line, you know, like a negative line about Black people. Like, I would just like.
He's not gonna do that.
I'd like. Maybe it's out there. What I'm saying is maybe.
No, I can actually. You know what? I can tell you something that did piss me off about Rosenberg, and he caught so much backlash that even he had to. That he had to walk it back. When Chuck D made a criticism of Summer Jam, I actually put Chuck D on a song after this. But
shout out Philip Jameson, thank you.
Chuck D had a criticism of Summer Jam, and I think it was the year that the whole fight broke out with was it 50 and 40 Glock or something? Something happened on stage at Summer Jam, and Chuck D made some comments, and then Rosenberg said something along the lines of like, what have you done for hip hop, or what have you done lately? And he caught hell in the handbasket for that shit to the point where you know, I mean, I guess his argument was, you know, we're giving these artists opportunities to perform in stadiums and blah blah blah, and you know, and you know, he tried to he took a little dig at Chuck, and no, he caught so much hell for that
which is sacrilege, yeah.
He actually had to come back and apologize. That's the only, I would say that's the only time that I've ever had to side-eye Rosenberg. But outside of that, you know, for me personally, he's been pretty spot on as far as the culture. And no, of course not. No other people are going to be offended by the vitriol and the detriments that happen to you know, of the Black society in hip hop. But that's our job to be offended. It's not his job to be offended.
Here's my attitude, right? Like, my attitude towards some shit like that is, listen, shut your ass up. Be happy that your motherfucking ass is here in the motherfucking house. Okay? Shut your little guest ass up. We don't want to hear about your little, what the fuck hurt your little feelings in this motherfucker Jay Electronica album. Like, there's some of us that love the album. Okay, and
present company included.
Okay, right. So that's why I pointed to you. So, you know, don't nobody want to hear that shit. Like, keep that shit to yourself, bro. Like I said, there's enough shit in hip hop that, you know what I mean? That's so negative towards Black people that you've never had no fucking thing to say about. And this one little small thing, like, please, let it go. Keep it to yourself, you know. All right, you felt a certain way about it, but nobody really cares.
Can I mention a quick?
Well, that's that on that.
Can I mention a quick sidebar, somewhat related, some news that happened today?
What's that?
With Bun B and his wife. You heard about it, Digga?
What happened today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out Bun B. Shout out his wife, man. In the middle of all this COVID-19 shit.
That's family.
Word up. They still found them a little racist in the parking lot or in the drive-thru at Whataburger in Texas. This white woman decides she want to call them a nigger.
Oh.
Man, yeah.
Oh.
Bun B wife went, they came through and they followed into a pharmacy. And she had the mask on. Bun B wife, man. She rolled up on homie in the eye like, surprise! Who a nigga now? I'm a nigga? You sure? You sure? But she was about to put the mitts on her, man. And I really felt the anger for them. I really felt like, you know, even though we try to say take the higher road, there's a place in our life where that shit still stings. You know what I mean?
I had a situation like that. Thank God social media wasn't out. I threw a Snapple apple bottle through a cab driver window shield. Motherfucker called me a bitch and tried to take off and got caught at the red light. Oh, I ran down the street so fast in high heels like.
Oh, I was gonna ask what you was wearing.
Who do you think you calling a bitch? U-N-I-T-Y.
Yo, true story. I threw a Snapple bottle through this nigga windshield.
Jesus.
And he fucking got out the car. He looked like he I ain't gonna say he looked like he was about to put the paws on me. On God, a homeless man emerged from the ground from under the newspaper. Like, nah, ain't even gonna be all that. Nah. And when I tell you my man retreated back into his taxi so fast, I was like, yo, it was a scene from a movie. I can't make this up. Like, he literally emerged from underneath newspaper, like, nah, it ain't even about to be all that, homeboy. I was like, my God, I don't know. I had like a 20 and 3 singles in my pocket. I'm like, it's yours. I wish I could write you a check right now.
He's great. Oh, shout out, Xavier Brothers. Shout out. Thanks for that. 14.99. You're welcome for the podcast, brother.
But yeah, damn, well, I don't know where that just came from. Oh yeah, the thing, the talk slickers and run. They actually just happened. I think some footage had just recently emerged of Trina, I believe, in a Walmart.
Yes, same thing. Matter of fact, yeah, in a pharmacy. Same thing. Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. They both had on sweatsuits too. The shit was hilarious, man. I can't stop watching it.
So listen, almost ready to shut it down for right now.
I think we can get ready to shut it down. I can get back to my ratchet TV. I just realized it looked like I'm sitting here in a bra. This is a whole shirt, y'all.
That's what I said earlier. I said, you look like you in your Oprah in a negligee.
I am in my jammies and boy shorts, but y'all ain't getting all of that right now.
Hey, I want to shout out Chairman Fred in the room, y'all. Chairman Fred.
Shouts out Chairman Fred. Yeah, I would love to build with him.
Well, listen, you know, we here for the foreseeable future, man, with this bullshit.
Rona.
They got people on lockdown. So,
moral of the story, wash your ass. You too, white people. Wash your legs and feet, white people. The fuck wrong with y'all?
Wash that stinking ass pussy.
Shit.
That thing stinking.
No, everybody be safe, you know, whether you believe it or not, or what you know, whatever your belief is, be safe. And yeah, we gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. Maybe we gonna be all right.
So I'm gonna just be coming back, you know what I mean? I don't know how often already you ready to do this, Digga, but you know, I'm gonna be coming back during the week, during the day, fucking with the people. Maybe we'll be making beats. Maybe we'll be doing all kind of shit on here. I don't know, like, but
word on the street, Jay, you might need to do a 90s hip hop party on IG Live. You know what I'm saying? Word on the street is maybe.
You know, I love those 90s.
Yeah, we might need to.
It can happen. Yeah. We could pull it out and do one. Well, listen, everybody, thank you. You know what I mean? Anybody donate on Super Chat. If you'd like to donate to the show, go to cash.me/$Yanadameen, patreon.com/Yanadameen, or Yanadameen.com/support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, click the bell for notifications so you know when we coming on. Definitely gonna come on a lot more and just come kick it with the people. I want to have a session of just taking questions from the people, shit like that. You know what I mean? Take their temperature and all of that. See how we, you know, what the people think about all of this right now. We introduced a lot of, you know, a lot of concepts tonight, and we can go deeper into different things, you know, cures, so-called cures for the coronavirus. They say it can't exist above certain temperatures, so, you know, people showing cures where they're inhaling boiling water with, you know, lemon peel and salt water and things of that nature, and, you know.
Now, I will say something to that. The only thing that's making me kind of the heat because they you know, there are reported cases in Iran and places that are just like desert heat hot. So it's like okay. You said it can't survive in the heat, but it's like 130 degrees out there.
Yeah, well, we combine in the lemon, which is an antiseptic type of thing, whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of, you see what I'm saying? There's a lot of, you know?
So it's a lot of talk.
Who do you trust?
I'm actually, I'll be honest, I called, you know, just real quick to the viewers, I called we probably had like 2 conversations, right? I said, damn, Jamar, so we just gonna let a whole ass apocalypse come and go and not do a show. But I'm actually glad that we sat back and waited for a minute, because if we'd have logged on 2 weeks ago, I would have insisted that not one Black person is gonna catch the Rona. And then it seemed like the world was hearing us say this. And then next thing you know, here go Durant or Gobert. I got it.
Well. As of this moment, does anybody that you or you know have it?
Shout out not for sale. They locked
well, let me say this. Let me say this.
Does anybody that you know personally have it?
I know one black guy that has it. He's in an interracial relationship. She is definitely ill. He has zero symptoms. Also, there is someone, I have a loved one in jail. His bunkie got it. He does not. And because his bunkie is white, and everybody that he sat with, ate with, everybody basically around him that was white are sick and diagnosed with it.
You sound like you blaming it on the white people. I just want you to know that. But anyway.
No, I'm not blaming it on the white people. I'm just.
You're like, he in an interrelational relationship, and the white girl got it, and he ain't got it, and then the white bunkie got it. Yeah, it's too late, nigga. It's all right. You can blame the white people for it. It's all right. It's all right.
The reason why
we like that here. We like that.
Is because these two particular individuals are substantiating my beliefs that we have some other resistance to it, or it could possibly just pass through us like the flu, whereas it's killing everybody else without melanin. That's all I'm saying. Like, I have yet, and because I don't know every single human being that has it, like, I don't know any persons of color that we're hearing, oh, the whole family stricken down, and I'm just not seeing that from persons of color. Every black person that has announced that they have it say, well, I don't have any symptoms, but I tested positive.
Right.
That's what I'm getting from all the black people.
And that's another thing. They could just say that you positive. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Like, again, we're trusting the people who are untrustworthy. I mean, all I'm saying is, like,
no, we're not trusting them. Be clear, we're not trusting them. But like, we don't want to throw any of these other theories out the window. Let's not totally dismiss.
Well, if somebody says that you have something and you believe them, you're trusting them. You see what I'm saying? Like, and all of this is being done right now because we're trusting the words of how they're saying to contain this and all of that. Like, we're trusting that. Like, that's what the fuck is happening. I'm just saying, half of you niggas, I don't know why you scared. Like, all the third world hookers y'all motherfuckers down on.
How you scared of the Rona still?
And you scared of the Rona? Nigga, you went down on a third world hooker and you lived. You'll be okay.
Passing around the same 5 industry Instagram models. Nigga, talk about some quarantine.
You took a shit at the Tombs. Okay? You gonna live, my nigga. I seen a nigga put his hands in the toilet at the Tombs in the jail.
Oh God. Yeah.
And they took some lemon peel and said, this is how you disinfect your hands. He put his hands in the dirty toilet in the Tombs and lived.
Thank you for sharing, Jay. Thank you.
Wait, I feel like I saw this scene on a show.
No, this was real life. This was not a show.
No, you know what I'm thinking of? The Shy, when the father, he was hiding the fermented alcohol and he had to go in the toilet and get it. Was in a plastic bag. Yeah.
This was nasty. Yeah. And this motherfucker acted like it was no thing. You know what I mean? And I bet you that he's alive right now. And he ain't got no Rona. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, y'all nasty motherfuckers have done a lot of nasty shit in your life. and you live through it. Okay, so
this too shall pass.
this too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
Yo, Jay, before you leave, can I get a shot of Anubis, man, and Bully and Bruno?
Oh, I don't know what happened to Bruno.
Okay, let's see.
Wait a minute, what happened to my $20 for my doobie from
Listen,
the
the way my account is set up, now you gonna get it.
As you can see, I ain't getting no doobie, y'all.
You gonna get it. There go Anubis right there.
Hey, Anubis, how you doing? Can you hear me? Yeah, boy, what's good?
He can hear you.
Anubis.
Just chilling.
All right. What's going on, boy? All right.
He's just like, man, I'm just laying low, I'm ducking this Rona, man. I'm not
Ducking the Rona.
I'm just ducking the Rona, man. We not fucking with the Rona, man. You know? But listen, so we'll be back. You know what I mean? We'll be back.
Don't believe anything that comes out of Trump's mouth, that's for sure, because he's just looking. Yo, hey, I'm curious to know how, like, everybody that was so dead set, like, I vote for Trump rocks. Like, I'm curious to know how they feel about him, like, right now. They won't say out loud, like, no, he sucks.
I also want to put this out there. You know, one of the things I'm thinking that they might try to fuck with this is the elections. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, when you go into a national emergency, which we're in right now, the Constitution is suspended. Everything is not the same right now. This is how you bring FEMA into the game and all that type of shit. So I'm saying they could fuck around and say, we're not having elections this year on the strength of trying to keep people safe.
You see, today they officially canceled the Olympics.
Or postponed them. They said postpone.
Postpone for a year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because they said they can't cancel it, but they said postpone.
They can't cancel it, but people aren't sending their athletes to Tokyo,
right.
Tokyo right
so
now.
I'm just saying, you know, this could be a way for homeboy to get another, you know, more time in there. Listen, we had to do some sort of special presidential mandate, and nobody could go to the polls, and you know, it would have been fair because everybody doesn't have internet access. So, you know. And
I don't know. I saw them arguing. I saw them arguing that a little bit today. They said, look, the election still went on during the Civil War. Say right now, in the foreseeable future, they don't foresee them postponing the elections.
All right, well, let's see what happens.
But you know,
like I said, a lot of funny shit kicks in once a national state of emergency is.
And things are definitely.
I encourage everybody to look into this on your own self.
Things are definitely changing day by day. I mean, you could take a nap and wake up, it's a whole different world yet again. So.
Right.
It's really like that.
We'll be here with you. And, you know, everybody stay safe. Everybody, you know, keep your mind strong.
Load your guns up.
Your mind, your body, your spirit.
I don't load your guns up.
Yeah. And, yeah, we're going to get through this. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, God is the strongest. That's all I could say. So all the devil's work, you know, he's not fucking with God. That's all I can say. You know,
hey, check this out. This is the best running theory yet. Or this could just be nature fighting back. Like, I'm tired of y'all and your smoking, mucking shit. Take y'all asses back in the house. Can we replenish the air? You know, can we clean the air and recycle get our water clean again? We sick of y'all filthy, nasty humans. Go home, die. Like, could be nature fighting back.
Doubt it, but I hear you.
No, no theory is off the table.
I think, I think our instincts are telling us what it is.
This is the planet cigar shit. That's what I think. But anywho, once again from the Yanadameen Godcast,
I am Lord Jamar.
I am Digga Digga.
Hashtag check a rage, hashtag tune rage.
Peace.
Oh, oops, peace. Peace. Not peace, peace.
That's right. Real quick, did you realize how the word panic is inside pandemic? Huh? Did y'all notice that? I don't think that's a fucking accident. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace.